Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering what are royalties in book publishing. If you want to make money from book sales, you'll want to pay attention to the tips in this video. By the end of this video, you will learn the importance of choosing the right publishing path and why if you optimize your book's impact, you won't even need to worry about book royalties at all. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a free opportunity I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. Book publishing really comes down to two different main options. There's traditional publishing and there's self-publishing. And choosing the path and understanding which path you want to take is really going to help inform the royalty process for you. The traditional publishing process is more cumbersome and labor-intensive, and there are some big rewards at the end of it. The first step is to create a book proposal, which is a 20 to 50-page document that outlines the entire scope of your book, what it's about, who you are, and why you're the right person to write it, the audience for your book, comparable titles, your platform to promote and sell the book, table of contents, and sample chapters. So there's so many different things that you need to think about, and then you take that document and then you pitch it to literary agents, and if a literary agent is interested, they will then take your book proposal and pitch it to publishers. And if a publisher is interested, they will sign you to a book deal. And this is where the royalties come into play. If you get a book deal, there will be an agreement in place that will involve royalties. Typically, there are 2 or 3 payments in the whole process. You know, with traditional book publishing deals that I've signed, I was handed a third of the money when we signed the deal, a third of the money when I handed in the draft, and a third of the money at publication day. So some of those elements come into play. And basically the advance was an advance against future royalties. So I wrote a book about a baseball player named Ken Caminiti, and I received a book deal from Abrams, which is a great publisher. I was really proud to work with them. And they paid my agent, who then paid me, in 3 parts. The agent takes about 15% of the money that you receive. And they paid me in 3 different parts. And the advance that I made from that book, I need to sell X number of books before I start then making money again, which I haven't done. We've sold quite a number of copies and I'm really proud of it, but we never moved forward from covering the advance to be able to start making additional royalties. So my earnings on that book were capped at a certain point. With self-publishing, on the other hand, which is the other option, there isn't a book proposal. There's no literary agent you need to worry about. There's no publisher you need to worry about. It's all on you to be able to put the book together. There are costs that you pay out of pocket to move the book along. Editing, design, potentially promotion, all of these things are going to come out of pocket. So there's more upfront costs for self-publishing, but then when the book is published, you recoup more money in royalties off of every book sold. So it's a trade-off. You can actually make more money potentially in self-publishing, but you can get more visibility with traditional publishing. So it's really an option of which you would rather have, visibility or revenue from each book sold. On top of that, traditional publishers are often focused on an author's platform, their ability to sell and promote the book. So if you're somebody who has a huge platform, traditional might be right for you, or if you're writing a mainstream book topic, traditional might be the best option, and if not, self-publishing is still great. When I think about all the books I've written and ghostwritten, 90% of them have been self-published, and I think that's an awesome thing. Some of my clients who chose to self-publish and maybe only sold a couple hundred copies of the book ended up making hundreds of thousands of dollars, 6 figures in book sales. And you wonder why, and it's because they were able to use their book as a lead generation magnet to attract clients that would then pay them lots of money to be coaching clients, or potentially to give speeches. Maybe you get invited to give a speech and that's $20,000 or $30,000. Would you rather have royalties from books sold or money for the services and the coaching and all these other things? So there's so much opportunity to make revenue, to make money from books. but it's not the same way it used to be. Typically with books today, they might only sell a couple hundred copies. Most books don't sell more than 1,000 copies. There's so many books in the marketplace today, and that means every single book is getting fewer and fewer readers and eyeballs attached to it. So it's really about recognizing who specifically you want to target for this book, the message that you want to share, and connecting the book with your larger, deeper goals. If it's growing your platform, if it's getting better interview requests, if it's better speaking engagements, if it's connecting the book to your high-level, high-ticket coaching services, or whatever the case may be, this book has so much power and potential behind it. So don't limit yourself by just thinking about book sales and royalties. But royalties are important, and I definitely don't want to diminish them. But they're just one element of the revenue potential for your book. If you want to learn more about what are royalties in book publishing, you'll definitely want to check out another video I recorded. I'll link to it on the screen. It's called How to Publish a Book. In that video, I cover the entire book process, from the idea phase to the publication and promotion phase, every single step. There's so much that you can learn, and I want to inform you as best I can to make the best decisions for yourself. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.